discussions the day before yesterday on the issue of traveling. And so this is more referring to what we call people who are kasirus safar, frequent travelers. You don't get any points for that. You just get some concession in how you pray and you do fasting while you're traveling. This is a scenario. Abbas gives a ride to his guest from Toronto to Buffalo Airport at 10 a.m. in the morning. This is in Ramadan. Abbas' fast of that day is valid, invalid, or has qaza and kafara? Qaza and kafara, this corner? Invalid. It's invalid, which means only qaza but no kafara. Because remember yesterday we talked about it. The day before yesterday. Traveling is not one of the muftirat. It is not one of the 10 things which invalidates your fast. It's just a condition which will not allow you to fast. So if you travel, then you become musafir. If you are musafir, you will not fast. Except, we'll come to a different situation. Hamid, the bus driver, travels frequently from Toronto to other cities in North America. His namaz is qasr or full or both ways. Huh? You sure about it? Huh? See? Both ways? Oh, you're making his life very difficult. No, it is full namaz. Because then a frequent traveler then doesn't have to worry about qasr or, tamam, full. Bashir lives in Toronto. This is not our Bashir here. Bashir lives in Toronto and works in Kitchener. He commutes every day from his home to work and back. His prayer in Kitchener will be full or normal? Is there a difference between full and normal? It's just to make you think a little bit about it. Okay. So because he lives in one city, works in another city, and so his namaz would be full, and even the fasting would be normal for him. What about Yusuf the pilot? He works as a pilot. So his work is traveling. But in this case, he takes his family for vacation to Orlando for a week in Ramadan. Will their fast be qaza and fidya or valid or qaza only? Huh? Qaza only. But he is a frequent traveler. By this time he's going on vacation. So suppose you have, let's say, case number 3 here. Bashir lives in Toronto, works in Kitchener. On the weekend he doesn't go there. But he decides to take his family for a social visit there, to visit a relative or a friend. Although his workplace is Kitchener, where his namaz would be full, but in that trip, because he's not going for work, his namaz would be qasr. Mustafa regularly visits various companies around Ontario to service their computers. He's a technician. His fast, valid, not valid, qaza and fidya? It is valid. Okay? Yeah. No, there was a meeting a few years ago between the ulama of the GTA, and we looked at the Urfi definition of greater or mega Toronto, mega city, not as, GTA as the municipal boundaries. You see, these cities are more administrative units. So when we look at this concept of Toronto and its cities around it. This becomes part of Bilad Kabira, a mega city, and so all the way from Ajax Pickering border to Mississauga and Milton border is all one. So you travel in between, it wouldn't be a problem. All the way from Lake Ontario in the south, downtown, to the Richmond Hill New Market border would be considered all one. That is the understanding that we have collectively. Let me ask you one more. We still have about how many? 4 or 5 minutes? This is the question sent by our Sheikh here, respected. A fellow, and the timings I have looked at the flights. A fellow lives in London, England, travels from London, England to Toronto, takes 6 p.m. flight from there. So he already has fasted 15 and a half hours because of the Fajr from London to 6 p.m. when they depart from London. And he travels for 8 hours, lands in Toronto at 9 p.m. here. So 15 and a half plus 8 becomes how much? And then about 20 minutes more between 9 arrival to iftar time here. So almost, close to 24 hours fasting. So what happens to his situation? Now he left his home after Zohar. Remember the mas'ala we discussed? After Zohar your fast would be valid. But it becomes about 23 hours, 45 minutes. If you can sustain that long fast, then that's what you should do. But if you really find it very difficult, and you are the judge, nobody else is going to tell you, then you will be allowed to break that, but then you have to do qaza, and there is no kafara there, because it was not done for, just an excuse just like that. But the better option would have been, for anybody who wants to travel in that situation, was to take a flight before Zohar of London time. So he doesn't fast anyway. And then he does qaza at the end.
When he leaves London and knowing what time the iftar in London will be, and while he's flying between London and Toronto, break the fast.
But he is moving faster than the Maghrib there. No, you have to follow the timing where you are. So by the time, Maghrib happens in London, he is somewhere in the middle of the ocean.
Okay, so what about that time in the middle of the ocean?
No, there will be no Maghrib because he is moving this way. Even when he lands in Toronto, it's still daylight. Here, Maghrib is 9:20 these days. He is landing at 9 p.m. The other way around, he will have benefit because then his day would be shorter. So if somebody lives here in the afternoon, travels, he will hit Maghrib even long before he reaches London. So you have to look at the time where you are, not the destination or the origin. Salawat.